Krunchy. Stays crunchy. Milk.
Nick Jew and I recorded an entire episode of Krème Pâtissière the other night. Said we was live, and guess what? We wasn't live, and the recording of the show was jacked up too. So then I had to gather the bits and pieces. I had to go in a cave with a box of scraps to try to build Iron Man. Now, once I figured out how to do it, I kind of was like, oh, you kind of a badass editor, T. You kind of picked up some new skills that normally do not sit in my wheelhouse. So basically, each of these videos is a feed that is feeding into one video, right? Sure. But there are also two individual videos. Box has a video. I have a video right now. They're going to be recorded. They are recorded separately. I can take one of those, well, in this case, those separate videos, and then I had to throw a background up in Premiere, then throw each video up in Premiere, and then had to make them the right size and the right fit, like so it all looked like this. In this case, the Krème Pâtissière one, which looks different. Good God, y'all. It was so much. But once I got it, it was just it was a bit of a hefty edit because everything had to get clipped and clopped and so forth and so on. But after that, I was like, oh shit, now I know how to do this. So I actually thank the guy who made the YouTube tutorial as to how to just put two videos horizontal on one pane. And of course, Vanessa told me how to do the background and shit like that because she has the experience. And I had to go comment on my man's video and be like, hey man, you just saved an entire episode of my Bake Off podcast. Big up. So respect due to that dude for putting me on the game and showing me how to kind of, if I had to, Lord willing, I never have to do it again, build one of these basically from scratch and make it look pretty decent. Well, I can make that kind of happen. So that was wild, bruv. I don't know. It's good because that way I'm learning and trickery happens and so forth and so on. I kind of get that locked down, but then it's terrible because I was like, man, it had me in a bit of a state. But I did it all in a day. I figured out yesterday that it was broken and fixed it yesterday. It's going to be a weird hinky looking video because Nick Jew's video was stuttering the entire time because it's the way it downloaded. Mine is relatively smooth. So it'll be a good time. I'll put a warning in front of it when I post it later today. And when you watch it tomorrow, you let me know. I'll just be like, hey man, this shit ain't gonna look great. But the fact you got a video at all should be a bless up.
It's like those sensitivity warnings they put on videos for people with like narcolepsy. I mean, not
narcolepsy. That'd be narcolepsy.
Great. You know what I'm trying to say.
Epilepsy, but it'd be hilarious.
Epilepsy, like, yeah. Look, the other ipsy.
You might fall asleep to this shit. Be careful. You won't hit your Oh my God. But yeah, otherwise, man, we out here grooving. I got to get a new office chair. This chair is actually busted now, man. I've had it since the beginning of the pandemic. And I sat on the other day and I hit it the wrong way. And that bad boy was like, nah, man. And I'm like, damn. So it's technically, I'm being supported right now by another chair that's behind this chair that's keeping me sitting upright.
I think you and I bought chairs from the same website.
Yeah, the whatever. I forgot what it's called, but yes, we certainly did.
Yeah, this one's like got some damage to it, but it's still like holding together.
Yeah. So, yeah, I bought this literally the week of the week they sent us home because I'd been sitting in a dining room chair that, like as I was working, I was like, this is terrible for 8 hours. I gotta find an office chair. So,
kind of makes you think just how like shitty dining room chairs really kind of are.
Well, because in theory, you're supposed to just sit there. What a meal takes, an hour.
Yeah, but are you not supposed to be comfortable for the meal? Like, I'm supposed to get up with my ass hurting just because.
I think maybe
it's time that we evolve our chair quality.
You're not wrong, my guy. So you're saying you're like, damn, my cheeks all numb and twisted up and so forth. So, but yeah. So I don't know. I'll research it at some point and figure it out as to which one. I like this one. If I could just buy this one again, I would. Because you got about 5 years. No, well over 5 years, pushing towards 6 out of it, and I think that's pretty decent. So we'll see how that all that all plays out, man. One time for the Cleveland Guardians, who got put out the playoffs today, but came storming back from 15 and a half games down to win the Central Division. And I realize, who cares? You won the Central Division. That's no World Series. But look, we wouldn't even supposed to go that far. And, you heard me and Box talk about the Guards the last few weeks, the last few shows. We didn't have any expectations of this team to manage what it managed. So I'm putting some respect on their name. As we lost some players to gambling, and we kind of, have real cheap-ass owners anyway. So, the fact
they were salivating at the fact that they got to charge for 3 more home games. They can't wait to pay $1.4 million for a utility infielder next year with those extra comeuppance.
Jesus Christ!
Someone who can play all 4 infield positions and can bat 155.
We need new. We definitely need new baseball owners, and have for a very long while. I would lean toward we probably need new football owners too, but I don't know who I would say needs to be in position in charge of that operation. But can't be no worse than what we got now. So
the thing about it is, it's like the team's actually well run with the resources they have.
Yeah,
they would just be they'd be amazing if they had more resources.
So I need somebody just to not be, fuck it, I'll spend it. I need somebody with that kind of attitude. Like, you know what? I'll buy a championship. Yes, please do that.
I have to wonder, though, like, how much that would actually change the team. Like, because they are the way they are, like how good they are and whatnot, based on, like, them having to do what they have to do with what they have. I wonder, like, how having more would actually change their processes.
Well, if we point at the Mets, like, third most expensive team in baseball from, or something like that effect, didn't even get into the playoffs.
Yeah, like I literally read like a Cleveland.com article like a half hour ago.
Yeah,
it was talking about how it came out before we lost today, but the result doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it was talking about how Jose Ramirez signed that team friendly deal to stay in Cleveland because like this is where he wanted to be.
Yeah,
as opposed to someone like Francisco Lindor, who always wanted more, and especially more than Cleveland was willing or was able to give. So he left for the money 5 years ago, and in that same time, he's made the playoffs twice, whereas Jose took less money to be somewhere he was happier with a better chance to make the playoffs. So he's made the playoffs 3 times.
Yeah.
3 times since he signed his extension in 2022.
Yeah.
So since he signed his extension, he's made the playoffs every single year.
Yeah. Gotta respect it, man. I don't know. You're right. What are we any better if we go spend some money? We got to get some better pitching in place. That just is what it is. But we're also, like I said, short 2 pitches because they want to go gamble. Or
honestly, like the pitching is pretty solid for what they have. They just can't hit for shit.
No, we had no offense. Lowest offense in the league this whole year. So no, we wouldn't. But then it's so crazy.
They have like a couple players that like can't really hit or field. It's like I was watching that game today, and like the guy they had out there first base, he couldn't get a hit, and he also couldn't field like a bouncing ball to him at first base. So he gave up like an infield double.
Yeah,
I'm just like, man, you guys, and then like they're dropping the ball, like the right fielder dropped the ball, the first baseman dropped the ball, didn't make that bouncing play. The second baseman dropped the ball. Yeah, like I know shit happens, but it's like the whole right side of our defense was just constantly making errors. Like I know they called the kid up to play center field, and like it was technically his major league debut, but like yesterday, like he drops like the second batter of the game's hit, like fly out to center, and he drops it. Yeah,
just nerves, so forth. But that's kind of interesting too. We had somebody who we were like, all right, you know what? I'll call you up from AAA ball to come and play in MLB playoffs. Yeah, come on up here. That means
they had no real choice because the other guy's face is in 1,000 pieces.
Yeah, because the guy got hit with a 99 against that same team. I want you to know. Seemed like a setup to me.
I'll tell you though, I would love to be able. Like, this is where, like, if they could spend money,
Yeah.
I would love to spend money. I would love to steal that picture that blasted him in the face.
Who was that? Was that Scooble?
Yeah, Tarek Scooble.
Yeah, everybody and mama thinks Detroit's about to have to put him up for sale next season. So depending on what happens, I guess this season. So
that's the thing that, like, I hate about baseball.
Yeah.
It's like you get star players, and then, like, depending on your market, you can't keep them. And then, like, when you're like on that, like, last year or two of like arbitration,
yeah,
then you got to sell just to recoup some sort of assets, and you give them away to, like, a team that can afford to pay like a $500 million payroll.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna lose Quan because of that shit. They were trying to trade Quan at the deadline because I think he still got, like, I know it's at least 1 year of arbitration, but it might be 2.
Yeah.
So they're trying to, like, sell him now while they can get more for him. But it's just like, it feels like we never get anywhere just selling. Like, we have, like, a farm system and we have a team that competes, but, like, it just never feels like they can actually get over the hump because they're constantly selling off people who, like, make all-star teams and stuff.
That's where I need somebody who willing to just, like, fuck it, I'll spend the bread. You know what I'm saying? Take that L or the whatever, the luxury tax, as it were, and then see what you got to do and make it happen. So I feel like, do they got a CBA coming up? Is baseball?
Yeah, baseball, I think, after this coming year could go into a lockout.
Yeah, so they got a lockout coming up. WNBA has a potential lockout coming up. It's a lot of people. It's the business of sports is, of course, it's just as capitalism is capitalism. It is what it is.
Yeah, the whole WNBA thing is fascinating to me on how, like, willing so many people in that league are to be openly bashing each other. It's just wild to me. Like, you like, they go back to, like, the All-Star game stuff with Kelsey Plum, and now, like, they're all attacking the commissioner, which, like, I mean, right or wrong, whatever. Like, I don't, it seems like she's in the wrong, and, like, they're justifying what they're saying. But it's like, it seems like the impression I get is it feels like nothing goes on behind closed doors there. They just all air it out in the streets for everybody to see, no matter what it is.
I think I appreciate that about the ladies' game, because it do be, like I said, it was, all the shit that was going on back behind the scenes with, just, let's say, Shedeur Sanders in the NFL, and then stuff going on behind the scenes with, like, Kawhi and this whole company situation in the NBA. It's all real gentlemen's agreements kind of bullshit popping. And where these ladies are like, yeah, this one fucking that one on that team. Oh, they broke up now and they hate each other. It's crazy how it goes down. No, they don't get down with each other at all. Oh, she like her, but she's straight, but she thinks she can get her, she can pull her over. Like, and I'm like, yeah, a little bit of zest, a little drama. It makes for a very fun sport. But they all seem to know the deal is, you just got one hell of a new TV deal. I mean, and you got a lot of bread. I mean, it's time to share that bread with us, because they coming to watch us.
I can't wait to watch women's basketball on the USA Network for the next 11 years.
I don't think they got it. I don't think it's all USA, because there's some other networks that they, like, ESPN got some.
Yeah, I know they got, like, a package. It was like Wednesday nights or some shit.
Yeah. So I don't even. Y'all don't even have cable. None of us have cable. I don't even know unless the USA is coming on Peacock.
Man, we're in the era of password trading, baby. I may not have cable, but I have access to it.
Oh, fair enough.
Every fucking cable channel has an app.
So somebody got cable. Therefore, you have access to cable, is what you're telling me.
And word of Streamlabs' demise is greatly exaggerated.
They say they arrested them dudes in Egypt. I thought it was a done deal, man.
Yeah, well, you can't fight a movement.
Fair enough.
Streamlabs has got about 2,000 fucking alternate URLs, so
I'll have to.
I may or may not have been consuming the NFL product while I was in Atlanta on my phone this past Sunday.
We'll have to discuss that later. As I deleted that bookmark once they got caught up. I was like, oh, well, there it goes. So
I'll hook you up with the updated stuff if it exists. Allegedly, it may or may not exist.
Sprinkle that allegedly on that motherfucker right quick. Just sprinkle. Oh my God. So so Apple TV raised their price in the streaming game. Disney's about to raise their price in the streaming game, which is crazy, which is why they quickly got their boy back on TV, because they was like, oh, we lost 1 million people, 1 million subscriptions who probably ain't coming back. Just when they were about to announce a price increase. And so I'm like, that's extra wild to me. So it's like, you was really about to lose people because they know what it was. They were like, oh, we're probably going to lose so many people because of this price increase. Then they knocked Jimmy Kimmel off the air, and then they lost those people. So it's like, Disney was quickly like, oh shit, what is we doing? Get that man back on TV right now. It's like, nah, buddy. You're just gonna lose some people anyway. Microsoft just raised the price of Xbox Live. It ain't called Xbox Live anymore. Game Pass. It's gonna be Game Pass Essential, Premium, and Ultimate. And I have Ultimate. I've had Ultimate for some time now. And the reason I have Ultimate is because the games they put on Ultimate are pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? They do day one shit on there from almost all of Microsoft's games. So then they was like, I'm gonna put another 10 on it. And the internet went crazy about it. Was mad about that today. It was yesterday when they announced it. But then they said, oh, for that $10, you get access to Ubisoft's back catalog, to whoever makes League of Legends, Riot Games, to you can play Riot Games shit, and you get the Fortnite whatever it's called. Fortnite Club that I'll sign up for every once and again, and they said you get that. And I'm like, well, that Fortnite Club alone is $13 a month, and you've raised the price by $10. I'm still coming out ahead for those months that I have Fortnite, whatever it's called, Game Club. I don't know, I forgot what the shit is called. So I'm like, all right, I guess I can make that work, but I was talking to my kid. I was like, hey, man, because all you play is Stardew Valley. I'm like, why don't you just buy Stardew Valley, and I'll just sit you up on the lowest tier, and that way you have access to everything still and so forth. But I don't know. We'll figure it out. So just all these places raising their prices, and that's just what it is, man. It's the whole slowly turning the heat up on the pot, and it's been that way for a very long time. So at some point, somebody got to go, and it'll probably if I thought about it, it would probably be Apple TV be the first to go.
Yeah, I'm thinking about dumping HBO.
Yeah, and because then I would just come back when Ted Lasso was out and finished. You know what I'm saying? When the new episodes of Ted Lasso was there, and everything that happened between here and there, I would just wait on, and then I'd probably sign up for again. My mama paid for Peacock. I pay for Paramount Plus and Netflix. I have access to HBO. I'm trying to think. I gotta make sure I cancel that damn Crunchyroll. Remember, I only had 2 months of that deal, so I gotta make sure I go through and close that out. So I'm not getting charged for that. So I don't know. You know which ones stay? YouTube. Because I'm never going back to commercials on YouTube ever.
Yeah, and I watch too much YouTube to ever do that again.
It's pretty much what I watch mostly at this point. You know what I'm saying? I watch more YouTube than I watch TV. So I could not. So that's kind of ones I'm whatever. Hulu Disney Plus situation, I don't know. I talked to Ness about that, and we'll see where that one goes. Because I don't know, man. I don't really use it that much. And I would just buy the movies instead, because that's all it's really for. The Marvel movies. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this all plays out, people. Let me wrap you all. We'll get a show started and go from there. It's gonna be a great time. Worry not. Look, my lyrics are right here. I put the wrong song title in there. Let me go grab the right one right quick, so I can tell you. Well, the song is called Respiration. It's by Black Star, which is most definitely Talib Kweli. And let me start you up. Escúchala. La ciudad respirando. Get it going, go. Escúchala. La ciudad respirando. Dun, 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 dun. Escúchala. La ciudad esperando. Dun, dun, boom, boom. Escúchala. Dun, dun, dun. The new moon rolled high in the crown of the metropolis, shining. Like who on top of this? People was tussling, arguing, and bustling. Gangsters of Gotham hardcore hustling. I'm wrestling with words and ideals. My ears is pricked, seeing what will transmit, and the scribes can apply the transcript. This ain't no time where the usual is suitable. Tonight alive, let's describe the inscrutable, the indisputable. What we New York, the narcotic, draped in metal and fiber optics, where mercenaries is paid to trade hot stock tips for profits. Thirsty criminal sick pockets. Hard knuckles on the second hands of working class watches. Skyscrapers is colossals. The cost of living is preposterous. Stay alive, you pay or die, no options. No Batman and Robin. Can't tell between the cops and the robbers. They both partners. They all heartless, with no conscience. Back streets say darken. Our unbelieving hearts stay hardened. My eagle talents stay sharpened. The city lights stay throbbing. You either make your way or stay sobbing. The shiny apple is bruised but sweet, and if you choose to eat, you could lose your teeth. Many crews retreat. Nightly news repeat who got shot down and locked down. Spotlight the savages. NASDAQ averages. My narrative rose to explain the existence amidst the harbor lights that remain in the distance. So much on my mind that I can't recline, blasting holes in the night till she bled sunshine. Breathe in, inhale vapors from bright stars to shine. Breathe out, weed smoke retrace the skyline. Hurt the bass ride out like an ancient maiden call. I can't take it, y'all. I can feel the city breathing, chest heaving against the flesh of the evening. The sigh before we die like the last train leaving. Hey, welcome to it. It's Today's Krunchy Milk. It's episode 585, and it's guaranteed to be at least 14 carats of fun. I'm your host, Adas Terror, 713, joined as always by the homie Lunchbox 2099. What's up, good sir?
In the parlor.
It's all to the good. This is one of the ones I thought you might be aware of. 585, and apparently in the realm of gold, is 14 karat gold, as it is 58.5% pure.
Well, hot damn.
The gold game. Look at me learning for no reason. But I stay woke. You know what it is. It's Today's Krunchy Milk. You know what I'm saying? We out here doing the damn thing. You'll get a news story. You'll get some box. You'll get, I don't know if I have anything to say, but I'll try. I'll see what I can whip up. And then you got some amateur assholes, and we'll get the fuck up out of here. It's lovely that way. It's how we move. What you look, you have cat action?
Someone's tugging on my chair, and I'm trying to figure out who.
He was like looking. I was like, "Oh shit! Somebody ran up on my mask." But let me hit you with this little news, and it's a fine news story. Nothing bad about it, and nothing great about it. But it's it's important. Go saying it. We talk Ohio shit. Megan Henry on the byline. That means this comes from the Ohio Capital Journal, though I initially pulled it from scene Cleveland. Ohio rail plant approves 5 projects, and Ohio passenger rail proposals will undergo federal study. This is a good thing, y'all. We can get these trains up and running again like they should have been. It makes for a much easier travel around the Buckeye State, and that can be a big deal. The Ohio Rail Development Commission recently approved millions in grant assistance for 5 freight projects as passenger rail proposals undergo federal studies. The commission approved more than $2.3 million in grant assistance for 5 projects for the Ohio Rail Plan, a federally funded document a federally required document that is updated every 4 years. The Rail Commission approved a $350,000 grant to First Quality Tissue Midwest, LLC, for installing rail infrastructure to help in the company's new plant in Defiance. A $1.2 million grant to help rehab a bridge on Wheeling and Lake Erie's Railway Rook subdivision in Tuscarawas County. A $174,000 grant to Wilmington Iron and Metal Company in Clinton County to grow its on-site rail capacity. A $497,875 grant to R.J. Corman Railroad Company to support a project to rehab part of the St. Mary's subdivision in Mercer and Algalais counties. And a $150,000 grant to the Kraft Heinz facility in Fremont out in Sandusky County. Basically, these places need to be connected to the rail to get their stuff off the rail to their facilities. And so these things are helping them. But also, Well, I'll just read it to you. These 5 projects represent a significant commitment to the improved safety and economic development in the state. Of the Ohio Rail Commission Executive Director Matthew Dietrich said in a statement, together these projects demonstrate just how important rail is to Ohio's economy. Now, as for the passenger situation, passenger rail, the first round of the Federal Railroad Administration's Corridor ID program was announced in late 2023, and 69 routes were selected, including 4 Ohio routes. The program involves intercity passenger rail planning. Ohio's 4 routes, 3 C and D: Cincinnati, Dayton, Columbus, Cleveland, Toledo, Dayton, Midwest Connect, Chicago, Fort Wayne, Lima, Columbus, Pittsburgh, and Amtrak Cardinal enhancements. The Ohio Rail Development Commission is sponsoring studies for the 3C plus D corridor and the Cleveland-Toledo-Detroit corridor. The initial 3C and D corridor project includes 3 daily round trips, and it could add 1,100 jobs and add more than $100 million to Ohio's economy, according to All Aboard Ohio, a nonprofit that advocates for public transportation and passenger rail. Midwest Connect is sponsored by the city of Fort Wayne, Indiana, and the Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission. It envisions 2 or 4 daily round trips according to the Ohio Rail Plan. Amtrak's Cardinal route connects New York to Chicago with stops along the way in D.C., Charlottesville, Cincinnati, and Indianapolis. It currently runs 3 times a week, but it could possibly run every day. Despite the efforts at the federal level, All Aboard Ohio was disappointed there was not more about passenger rail in the Ohio Rail Plan. And All Aboard Ohio Executive Director John All Aboard Ohio Executive Director John Escherly. These projects are so large scale, and since it's something that has been very clearly demonstrated to be a priority for many Ohioans, it seems like a bit of an oversight that there wasn't more in there about passenger rail, Escherly said. It's almost exclusively a document establishing freight rail and freight rail expansion in Ohio. There's a 13-page chapter in the Ohio Rail Plan on passenger rail, but they didn't talk about it, is the point my man here is making. I'll be honest, it was a little puzzling to me because there was an entire chapter, Dietrich said. It's a prescriptive format that we have to follow to be federally compliant. The Rail Commission submitted the first steps for their 2 routes over the summer, and the next step is when detailed planning and design happens. Amtrak also submitted the first steps for the Cardinal route. The next step in the process that we're waiting for approval from the FRA is to develop those studies, Dietrich said. And those studies will develop something called the Service Development Plan, which will provide capital, costs from ridership, estimate equipment, needs, and scheduling. More important, slightly more than 3/4, 78.4% of Ohioans say enhancing the rail network is important or very important, according to the Ohio Department of Transportation's 2024 Transportation Survey. Hopefully, we're moving here, people. Because if you connect Cleveland, Columbus, I guess Dayton, whatever, Cincinnati. I mean, Dayton's a little offshoot. You connect this by train, then that it's way quick. People could work in Columbus and live up here in Cleveland, or the opposite, because it's that quicker to move around, and that's why that ideal is sound and is something that you wish they could just get off they do nothing and do something, because it's better for the state when everybody can make moves and move around freely and necessarily. You know what I'm saying? So can't call it. Your poll tax base works. You got to pay taxes where you work. You got to pay taxes where you live. You should be making a lot of money, Ohio. You're playing yourself by not building these train systems. And I don't even want people to be having to pay more taxes. But I'm just saying, if people going to want to know about it, you might as well tell them about it, right? That's what's up. That's your news for the week. I didn't want to delve any further than that. And I thought that was a solid story. You know what I'm saying? It's good that people are we out here, man. We got to take care of the business and the infrastructure of this state to keep this state doing what it does. People sleep on Ohio and talk grease about Ohio, but we are the 7th largest state, and we are responsible for a lot of money in this great nation of ours. And so put some respect on our name and understand what we do here is important. But Box of the Show becomes yours. I hand the reins over to you, but then, of course, you have a nice little video package that goes before that. So me whip that out and put you going there.
I hope it's like the Wonder Years where like you got me like playing in the front yard by a white picket fence, and then like me looking lovingly into like my crush's eyes as I kiss for the first time, and then all of a sudden I'm getting on a boat to war
I thought it would involve books in some way, story time, but damn.
Yeah, I mean, I guess reading Rainbow works too.
Before you start, something I also discovered when having to build that episode of KP from scratch is that whole time while we're gone, it's still filming us. It's happening. Everything we're doing is in the video, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Here I am, just beatboxing while the intro to KP is playing. Now you can't hear anything because it mutes the mics, but it does film everything you do. And I was just like, it's lightweight embarrassing. No one can see it because it's not there, but it was real. It's a real bad thing to learn about. I was like, "Oh damn!" So,
good thing I'm not doing anything that could get me caught up somewhere. Though.
Fine, sir. I handed the reins over to you. What's the good word?
Well, this is probably going to be long, so I'll try to make it concise.
Have. It's your show. In fact, here, I'm going to lean back, crack that spine, and you go, man.
Well, my birthday was last week, and I went on a trip to Atlanta, Georgia.
To the A!
Yeah, it's there. And so I left on Thursday and stopped at Buc-ee's in Louisville about 5 hours. Yeah, stopped at the Bushies. And it was just as magical as I remembered. And I had to stop myself from spending money because, I realized that, there was no reason for me to buy a bunch of snacks and, home items because I'll be hitting Buc-ee's again on the way back, and all it would do would just clutter up the car in the meantime. So I bought a couple things to, have with me for the weekend, some beef jerky and stuff to, take in my bag. But I, left the majority of the shopping to the trip bag.
Okay.
Now, from where I live to where we were going, the hotel in Georgia was about 10 and a half hours. So that's a lot of fucking driving.
Yes.
And I don't rotate. So I had to do a lot of driving that day. And we're in that time of the year where it starts getting dark around 7. And so I was in Tennessee heading to the Georgia line when the sun was kind of gone. And then it started raining. So there was accidents, man. Traffic was held up for a long time. And I don't know if people, how many people have driven in Tennessee. But a lot of, the Tennessee highways, the not the main parts, but, the in-betweens, they're just 2-lane highways. And what I've noticed from the South, there is a lot of buildings that get moved on trailers, oversized loads. And I was on a 2-lane highway with a oversized load that was 16 feet wide that was literally driving off into the grass to maintain the 2 lanes. It was kicking up rocks and shit. It was not a good time when you're hearing clank, 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 clank on your own car.
Is it constantly smacking you with rocks and shit?
Yeah, it gets old real quick. So, turns out there was also another Buc-ee's in Georgia. And so I got to do a double feature on Thursday on the way down, and I got to do double feature on Monday on the way back. So 4 Buc-ee's were attended. Oh, I'm sorry. 2 Buc-ee's were attended 4 times throughout the weekend. But so we get down to the hotel probably around 11 Thursday evening. It's Thursday's night at this point. And we didn't have any reason to rush to the convention center the next day because I'm not one of those people that needs to be there the moment they open the thing up for everybody to go in. I'm there for to enjoy myself and do certain things. I'm not there to soak up every waking moment of the whole fucking thing. And which unfortunately I had to do on Sunday, but I'll get there. So Friday, my schedule was basically like I had like a sealed event that I was playing in at like 4:30, I think it was, and
Explain to people what sealed event. Just people don't know.
so it's basically an event where like you get like a pile of unopened booster packs. So it's like random. You make a little constructed deck out of like the stuff you open out of the packs. So it's like, and then you just play people. So it was a 3-round tournament. And I ended up drawing round 1 because me and the dude went to time. Like he clearly didn't know what he was doing very well, and we were shuffling up for game 3 when time got called, so they didn't even let us start it. And I just had a kitty land on the back of my chair. I don't know. All right, well, they parkoured off my chair apparently.
It's bounced off you.
Yeah. If that was the case, it was probably Shuri. She's being a little rambunctious right now.
Sure.
But so I ended up winning round 2, and it was against like a younger guy. Hold on, I need to regulate. Who's grabbing on my chair? Chair grabber's usually Lila. Oh yeah, it's Lila. Yeah, I caught you.
You're pet parenting.
So I played against this kid round 2, and like I beat him in a couple minutes. Like my deck was actually pretty good. I should have 3-0'd.
Yeah.
It was 2 colors. It was consistent. It had good rares. So it was definitely a 3-0 worthy deck.
Okay.
Which didn't really matter much in this tournament because you were basically just playing for the product you opened. And then at these cons, I guess they have what's called a prize wall. Yeah. So like, I do have a kitty now. Oh, that is Lila. She made the leap. Usually it's Shuri that goes back there.
Yeah.
Looks like she's trying to see something on the ceiling.
I'm like, say, what has her eye?
I don't know.
A mosquito, a fly, a spidey.
Lila, what are you doing, baby?
Don't worry about me, man.
Yeah, I gotta hold the chair steady because she's a skittish one. Like any instability and she's out. Shuri, on the other hand, is more athletic.
Yeah.
So anyway, like I played the kid round 2, and he was like probably late teens, early 20s maybe. Like he's the kind of person I would classify as like good but early in their Magic career.
Okay.
And so like I was chatting with him, and I talked to him about like my past and stuff, and I told him that like I was kind of impressed with his deck based on like the fact that it was 3 colors and what he was able to pull off. Like even though he lost, like I sat there and he asked if I'd play a couple more games for fun because we got done so fast.
Yeah.
So I humored him, and I played like 2 or 3 more games with him, and then last round I got paired up at like table 2, and I was like, that shouldn't be right because I was 101. Like that should be like reserved for a 2-0.
Yeah. And
so I go to the second table, and at the first table there's a guy in a wheelchair. Now this makes sense that like he doesn't move because like usually when there's a player like that in a tournament, they get like a special like seating assignment because
accommodations.
Moving around is kind of difficult.
Yeah.
So I sit down and I realize I'm playing against a child, like an actual factual child, like probably like 9 years old, 10 most child. And then I find out that the child is sitting at table 2 because he is the child of the man in the wheelchair at table 1, and they have reserved assigned seating.
Okay. So,
the kid is playing like a really aggressive red-green deck, which he beat me game 2.
Yeah.
Like that's how good his deck was. He was a child and he won game 2. And it wasn't like I threw the game intentionally. Like he just literally straight up like his draw was fast. He crushed me. It was insane. But like the problem is he was a child. So instead of like focusing on the task at hand, he's constantly, Daddy, look what I got. Or like, oh man, if I drew this, I was going to do this to you. Or like, I don't want to do that because of this. He's just yapping and like not paying attention to life totals. Like wanting to take stuff back after he's already did it once he realizes that like it's not going to go the way he wants it to go. And I'm just like, come on, man. Like, I just want to get through this. And so like I ended up beating him game 3. Like, he mulligans for down to like 3 cards, and I crush him. And at this point, like, his dad was already done with his match, so he was kind of like coaching his son through it a little bit, like not really telling him what to do, but he was like kind of talking to him.
Yeah.
And so like I win, and as like we're finishing up, his dad thanks me because like I basically had to sit there and keep this kid on task the whole time. I had to write down the life totals for both of us. I had to ask him every time if he was done, what he was targeting, if he wanted to do something. I had to like run the whole game for both sides.
You babysat somebody's foreign ass child.
Look, foreign.
I mean, foreign to you. You don't know him. He ain't your friend. He ain't none of your people's kids.
That is true. I did not know this gentleman or his child before I sat down.
There you go.
So the dad thanked me, and I told him it was all good. And then he leans over to his kid, and he goes, "Hey, son, here's something you can learn from this." He goes, "When you sit down across from your opponent and you see them pull out a life pad and write down both life totals like your opponent did, that means he's a good player." And I was like, "Oh man," I'm like, "I used to be good, but I'm like I ain't good anymore." And he's like, "Well, I don't think it's really like a skill that ever really leaves you." And I'm like, "That's probably true." I'm like, "But the problem is I stopped playing regularly so long ago that like I don't know what 70% of the cards are anymore." So I'm like, I have to read everything, and like I kind of have to like just kind of guess or go off feel sometimes because like I don't know all the tricks, I don't know all the possibilities.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of winging it. But like I just, I'm naturally better at this game at this point than most people, so it gets me by in like certain situations. But I told him like how I like had played in the Pro Tour one time, and like I had a bunch of like Grand Prix finishes and whatever. But he is like, "Thank you." And so like I was packing up my shit because the tournament at this point was done, and the life pad I have is like it's got artwork on it from this artist named John Avon who did these basic lands for the set in the late I think it was the late 90s. It was called Unglued. Mm-hmm. It was one of those jokey sets that weren't like real Magic cards, but like the booster packs came with like one of these basic lands in it. They were the first full art lands, so they were like really beautiful artwork, and so they were always been really popular. And when I got back into playing last year, like the Goodwill auction site had 3 notepads that had the artwork from those lands. It was an island, a mountain, and a plains. So I bought the lot. It was like $15 or something like that because I thought they were cool and that would be a nice thing to have in my bag for when I played. And so I had all 3 of them in my bag, but I only need one at a time.
Yeah.
And so like I pulled out the mountain one, and I gave it to the kid, and I said, "Here, now you have a life pad, so when you sit down, your opponents will know you're a good player."
Fuck yeah. You're the best, man.
And then the next day, once I realized I didn't have that notepad anymore, I kind of regretted giving it away.
Oh my God.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Like the dude like thanked me, said it was real nice, and the wife/mom was like there because she has to like basically like she's the hands for her husband.
Yeah.
Because he's in a wheelchair, and I could tell like his hands were like constantly gripped up, so like he could do a little bit, but like she had to do all the shuffling and everything. So like she said that was really sweet, and she thanked me. And then the prize wall thing that I had mentioned earlier, the way that like a lot of the tournaments at the convention work now is like you don't get like some tournaments you do get like prizes for like winning or top 8ing or whatever.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the tournaments you just get prize wall tickets. It's like going to like the carnival or like a Dave and Buster's or some shit and getting arcade tickets and then cashing them in at the prize counter for something.
Okay.
So like you get like an allotment of tickets at the beginning of the tournament, like because you get tickets if you win or lose, but if you win, you get more tickets. So they just give you all your quote unquote losing tickets up front. And then when people are playing, the judges come around and then they put the piles on each match for like the winner. So whoever wins gets the second grouping of tickets to like equal the winner's purse or whatever.
Okay.
So like I got like, winning tickets off of the 2 rounds. And then the round I drew, they just split the winning tickets between the two of us. So I left that night with a handful of prize wall tickets, and then we go into Friday. Well, we went and got dinner at some pub, but it was fine. Nothing really to go into about that. Then we go back to the hotel, and then kind of a similar deal to the next day we get up, we go to Zaxby's because someone I was with wanted to go to try Zaxby's.
Hell yeah.
And I wasn't really hungry, but like I kind of forced myself to eat a chicken sandwich and a couple of the fries. And it was fine. It was kind of like what I remembered, The inside of it though was like it felt like I was walking through a movie theater. Like it was just sticky in there. People were like, some of the other customers were kind of rude and inconsiderate. So I wasn't really impressed with their manners, but it is what it is, like.
You tell me the South, it was not behaving well mannered? How dare they?
And so like we ate there, and then we went to the convention hall because like we all were going to play in the modern tournament. I think it was at 3:30, and it was like a 7-round tournament. And it was basically for prize wall tickets.
Okay.
All 3 of us were playing in it. So I sit down. We all lose round 1, and which I kind of expected. Because like I haven't played a game of that format since that tournament I went to back in July.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even play a practice round. I just showed up with the same deck unchanged. No reps. Sat down, played round 1, almost won round 1, lost in game 3. And the matchup I was playing though was kind of tough because he could like go like in infinite combo. So I played as well as I could. I even talked to him after the match because a couple of things I did, and just trying to see his perspective. And but I lost. And then round 2, as fate would have it, I played someone who was in the car with me on the ride down, and promptly beat them 2-0. Then I won my next 2 rounds against like actual other people.
Okay.
And it was funny because the second one threw a temper tantrum, which, mwah.
What? Tell me that tale. I know. Realize it's not whatever. It's not. It's your side of the equation, so you can't really tell me much. But
I can tell you.
Okay.
So I sit down against this dude, and immediately he realizes he lost his deck. And when I was walking to sit down to our match, I saw someone a couple seats down in our section call a judge over because they found a deck and they handed it to the judge.
Yeah.
So I asked him, I'm like, was your deck box purple? And he goes, yeah. And I go, I saw someone over there handed to a judge at the end of the table a minute ago. Okay. So he gets up, he goes down, talks to the judge, gets his deck back. So crisis averted on his side. He got his deck back immediately. So he's playing the deck that I lost to in that tournament 2 months ago. I don't know if it's the same card for card, but it's the same deck.
Okay.
And obviously I'm playing the same deck I played that day. Like I said, I didn't change anything. And a couple my deck is built in such a way that like the people who play this game regularly in this format, as soon as like turn 1's over, they know exactly what I'm playing.
Okay. It's
like it's very apparent. There's like nothing else in the format that does what I do or what it does, not what I do.
Do you play in a manner that I guess that might be old school now considered? Is that what it is? Or
no, it's just the way the deck operates. It's the only one that does that particular function. Okay. So as soon as like I cycle a card, like a shitty creature, you know exactly what I'm playing because no one else does that.
Okay.
It's not like a thing that is used in multiple decks. It's literally just this one deck that uses those specific cards. So as soon as you see that, you immediately know what's up. So we're playing, and I take over control of the first game, and this is when he starts throwing a temper tantrum because he apparently feels like he doesn't have a good matchup against my deck, and apparently in whatever tournaments he's been playing in, he's played it a bunch recently, and he's tired of losing to it. So he decided to get real grumpy and pissy and cry about it, and I was just like, whatever, man. Like I got quiet, but in my mind I'm already like, all right, well, fuck this guy now, because now I want to win. Before I didn't care. I honestly I was just playing for tickets, like an opportunity at the prize wall tickets.
Yeah,
I had no expectations of like winning this tournament in any way, but like now I want to win this match.
Yeah.
So I end up winning game 1, and we sideboard for game 2, and I already know like what kind of shit he's gonna have. So like I do my best to play around it, or like not like play into it in a way where it's not as beneficial for him as he thinks it's gonna be.
Yeah.
So I end up controlling the game. I ended up taking game 2, and I also didn't feel very comfortable at one point because one of his friends came over at one point and was standing behind me watching the game rather than standing behind him.
Like trying to pass signs or something.
Yeah, that has happened in the past before with people.
Okay.
Where I didn't pick up on him doing that, but I also started hiding my hand more. So like I didn't really appreciate that, if I'm being honest. But it ended up not helping him anyway because he lost. And he kind of had like an introspective come to Jesus moment with himself after he lost, because like he apologized for his behavior, and he just vented a little bit, and then he told me that like it wasn't anything to do with me, that I played very well, that he was just lamenting his luck as of late, and we talked about the matchup a little bit, and I told him I'm like the matchup I think is closer than you think. I'm like, I lost to your deck in RCQ 2 months ago. I'm like, if you get Goblin Bombardment down, it's really hard for me to win. So I'm like, I have to either hope you don't get it, or I got to play around it as best I can. And like, we chatted for a minute, and then I was like, all right, I'm over this. Yeah. So like, I ended up playing the next round, and I lost 2-0. And at that point, I was 3-2. And it was there was only 2 rounds left in the tournament. Like I said, I was only playing for prize wall tickets. So the people I was with, they gave me all of their tickets because this was my birthday weekend. They weren't there for prize stuff, so they gave me their tickets because I wanted to get like an oversized card off the prize wall. But they were like, the one I wanted was like 25,000 tickets. And at this point, I had counted up all the tickets like in between rounds, and I was at like 22,900.
Okay.
So I only needed a little bit more to get the thing I wanted. Now, the caveat here is like you have to, either play in tournaments that give you the tickets or win your matches. And then also you have to hope that the items at the prize wall don't sell out, because a lot of them do sell out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like an infinite supply of these things. So we make the decision to... And now keep in mind, this is all happening on my birthday. So this is literally my birthday. Saturday, I turned 40. This is all happening on Saturday. We made the collective decision to drop from the tournament, even though there's 2 rounds left, because I wasn't going to be able to top 8 anyway at this point. And we were literally just grinding for tickets, but we kind of figured all 3 of us collectively could get the tickets the next day, because the one guy was already playing in a tournament where he was going to get some tickets. And then the other guy could like go join a side draft and get some tickets. So we kind of like, all right, well, we can make this happen. If we leave now, we can go eat dinner somewhere and then get back to the hotel, because on Sunday we did have to show up at like when they opened the doors, because they opened the convention like doors or the hall at 10 a.m. and I had a tournament that I had to play in at 10:30. So I did have to, and the Falcons were going to be playing right across the street. So we were going to have to find parking, whereas the first 2 days we had a parking pass to a garage next to the convention center. We were going to have to figure out where to park somewhere. We had no idea where. So that was going to like be a mystery on time. and then we were going to have to fight the crowd getting into the hall. And so we actually wanted to get back to the hotel at a decent time. So it's like 9:30 or some shit at this point, and we dropped from the tournament, and I find that there's a restaurant a 10-minute walk down the street from where we are that had good-looking food on Google, and it had 4.5 stars out of 5 with 3,700 reviews.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, this will be all right. So admittedly, I have a bit of a temper when it comes to plans being made based on information. And then after the plans are made, someone provides new information that could have changed the plan or the calculations. And I admit that that's one of my personality quirks, is that kind of shit pisses me off. Because as we're walking out of the hall, I go to leave out of the building. They're like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, I'm going to the restaurant we just agreed on. And they're like, "Oh, well, we want to take our bags to the car." And I'm like, we didn't talk about that at all because the car is 15 minutes in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So I kind of I got an attitude.
You did a goddamn thing.
Yeah, I'm like, that would have been good to know, So the one guy ends up taking all the bags and my car keys to go to the car, and then me and the other guy walk to the restaurant. So get down the street to the restaurant, and I'm going to say the name of the restaurant because this is not a good story. I'm about to flame the hell out of this place. It is not going to be good for them. And it is what it is. It was Restaurant 10 Bar and Grill.
This is a review of Restaurant 10 Bar and Grill in Atlanta, Georgia, or is it another city?
It's Atlanta, Georgia. This was in downtown Atlanta, right across the street from the Atlanta Falcons Stadium, Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
All right, let's go.
So, we get down the street, and as I'm walking to the, I find the building's really after you come off this bridge, because it's really hilly in downtown Atlanta. It is exceptionally hilly.
Man, what a time!
The convention center is level 1 is the bottom, and it goes up to 5, and 5 is street level at the top of the hill. But if you enter level 1, you're at the bottom. It's literally built into the side of a fucking hill.
Man, I have not been back to Atlanta since I left Atlanta, basically. Well, no, I ain't been back to Atlanta since 95. And so I have no idea what Atlanta is anymore. So that's crazy to me that it's that now, Yeah.
So we get towards into the parking lot, and then from the outside it starts to look like a Waffle House. Which is no big deal, but that's the feeling I get as I'm approaching the building.
Yeah.
And so me and my buddy enter the restaurant, which on Google, when I looked it up, it said that it was busy, which I assumed as much that it would be because it was, like I said, a couple minutes down the street, walking distance from a convention that had thousands of people.
Yeah.
So we walk inside, and as we're approaching the door, two women go in front of us. And the noise, it got noisy all of a sudden.
I muted myself to cough, so then you started hearing the room again. Sorry.
So we enter behind these ladies, and the restaurant is predominantly black.
Yeah.
Which no big deal to me. I don't care. That.
So is Atlanta in general. So yeah.
But I'm fine.
Yeah.
There's immediately some people that I can tell by looking the way they're looking at me. I don't feel like they're fine with me being there.
Huh.
Patrons, not staff.
Okay.
Staff won't even notice, won't even acknowledge the fact that we walked in the door.
Yeah.
There's a dude at the hostess station who's just chatting with these two women, and they're older women, not old, but they're probably early 40s, they're not young women, and so he's just chatting these women up.
Yeah.
Not acknowledging the fact that everyone needs seated, not even saying hello, I'll be right with you. And then when he finishes yucking it up with them, he disappears. And so Man, this noise is really bothering me. Like, I don't know what the hell you did when you unmuted, but like, it sounds like there's like electricity flowing through your mic now.
How fascinating. Like I said, all I did was muted and then unmuted. But here, I'll mute it again. Mute it. And we'll see if that helps.
Yeah. So after probably somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes of just standing in the doorway of this restaurant blocking traffic, some other lady eventually asks how many we're going to have for seating. So we tell her 3. And so she goes and like moves a couple of high top tables apart that were pushed together. And we go sit down, and a waitress comes over after a couple minutes and takes like our drink order. And then while she's off getting like our water and like my buddy got a soda, our third shows up. So like I told you, it was like a 15-minute detour from the car to the restaurant. So we went straight to the restaurant, and all we've accomplished in the time that he and I, all of us separated, was we eventually got seated and we asked for some water. That's how long we waited at this restaurant to get any kind of acknowledgement.
Yeah.
So the waitress comes back and she brings my water and his soda, and she asks him what he wants to drink. So then it starts a long discussion about how they don't have any alcohol, like any beer on tap, and they only have bottles and yada, 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 yeah, whatever. And then I put in an order for fried pickles. So then she comes back with his beer and the fried pickles, and she takes like our entree order. So I ordered the turkey wings with a side of candied yams and mac and cheese. The one guy that showed up last orders wings, and the other guy orders like 3 veggie sides. It was like their veggie platter. So he ordered like their baked beans, their mac and cheese, and mashed potatoes, I think is what he ordered. So we got the order in around like 9:45. We're sitting there, we're watching the Georgia-Alabama game. People that came in after us have been seated. They have food. They're now have left. And keep in mind, I mentioned earlier on that like on Friday and Saturday, we had parking passes for the garage. We're supposed to be out of the garage at midnight.
Yeah.
We also went to go get dinner when we did so that we could get back to the hotel because we all have to be up early.
Yeah.
So the one guy that goes and he disappears for a while. He went to go complain because our food never came.
Yeah.
And it turns out that it seemed like the waitress never put our order in.
Yeah.
And so they had to rush to make our food. But then it had turned into a to-go order because we didn't have enough time to actually sit there and eat it because we had to get back to the car to get it out of the parking garage before it got locked in the garage overnight.
Yeah.
I would not have been able to get out the next day probably because the Atlanta Falcons were playing in downtown Atlanta the next morning.
Yeah.
So they had to box up all the food, and then we had to walk 15 minutes back to my car, then drive 25 minutes out of downtown Atlanta to the hotel.
To eat cold-ass food by the time you get to it.
Food, right?
Fuck you.
And so this was my birthday dinner. So by the time we got back to the car, it was about 11:40 at night. And I'm not expecting much out of this food, honestly, but I haven't eaten. So I'm in my mind, I tell myself I'm going to get back to the hotel and I'm going to give it the old college try. On the way back to the hotel, I realized I don't have anything to drink with the food, and I'm going to need some water to take my blood pressure meds before I go to bed. So we stop at a Circle K gas station that's on the way back to the hotel. Kind of like a meh kind of area, like not really the best, but like I've been in worse.
Yeah.
But there also is like kind of like a nightclub thing going on next door that looks kind of like a bar restaurant, but it's popping.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then the Circle K's got good lighting and shit. So I'm like, all right, this will be fine. So we pull up, and I just asked them to grab me like a bottle of water and some vitamin waters or shit, just something to drink while I'm eating this food when we get back to the hotel. So they go into the Circle K, and I'm sitting in right outside the door next to the handicap spot with the car running, and I'm checking my phone because I haven't gotten to look at my phone in a bit, checking messages and shit. And then after a minute of me sitting there, all of a sudden, a giant black SUV with extremely dark window tint kind of slow pulls next to me and goes to the side of the gas station building. Because the way the Circle K is set up is there's the pumps in front, the parking spots, and then the building. And then next to the building is a slow drive to behind the building where there's a fence line and a parking lot in the back.
Okay.
This SUV had a handful of people in it because when they rolled by and the lights hit the tints, I could see a driver, a passenger, and a guy in the middle.
Okay.
They stopped next to the building and just parked there. Never get out of the car. And it had a feeling about it, right?
Yeah.
Then within a minute of this, a little gray SUV pulls up, goes back there, past them, and kind of pulls into the corner of the lot back there, doesn't get out. Right across the street is a bummy-looking warehouse. Industry probably happens there, but it has it doesn't look like a fancy place.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like a shithole either. It just looks like it needs some touch-up, some paint job, whatnot, whatever.
Yeah.
I watched a Tesla back a trailer hitch, like a little mini U-Haul trailer hitch thing, into their driveway, which is weird, especially at midnight. And then, as that's happening, another car with black tint windows, a black Escalade thing, pulls into the driveway where the Tesla is and pulls behind a fence. And I never see it again once it pulls past the Tesla.
Yeah.
So now I've got the Tesla that just pulled up weirdly at midnight with a trailer hitch. Tinted window Escalade car that went past Tesla.
Yeah. Black
Denali with tinted windows that's now next to me in this parking lot across the street from other cars that's just sitting there for the last 2-3 minutes, hasn't moved, no one's gotten out, hidden in this driveway next to this gas station. And then I've got gray SUV that pulled past Denali that's sitting in the back of that parking lot, has not moved, has not gotten out. And so I texted 2 people that went into the gas station and I said, hurry up, we need to get the fuck out of here right now.
Yeah, because this is it's either bad dudes or bad cops, one or the other. Nobody want to be around either way. This is. It's let me get the fuck out of Dodge.
I grew up in the hood.
Yeah, I know you know.
I have hood sense. My hood spider sense was tingling to get the fuck out of there right then and there.
Yeah.
So I texted 2 of these jokers to get the fuck out of this gas station. We need to get the fuck out of here. And neither of them checked their goddamn phone. So then finally, a minute later, the one comes out and he's carrying the water and the vitamin waters and all the stuff he bought, which I appreciate because that is what we were there for.
Yeah.
He opens my car door, at the passenger door, and then he starts dropping all the shit on the ground on accident. And I'm just like, hey, did you check your phone? And he goes, no, why? And I said, all these cars pulled up around here. Shady shit's about going down. I don't feel right. We need to get the fuck out of here. We're about to get shot. And so he goes, oh, shit. And then he asks where the other guy is. And I look, and I can see the other guy wandering around the gas station looking for something that he can't find, like a lost puppy. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, we're about to get shot because this dude can't find a Diet Mountain Dew or something. So then the other guy goes back in and gets him. And so he got whatever he was gotten and come out. And then I immediately pulled off.
Yeah.
Because, it didn't sit right. Something was going down. I don't know if it was, a coordinated thing. I don't know if it was, drugs or guns or I don't know. The next day I did drive by and there was no police tape, so I don't think anything massive popped off, but it just did not feel right.
I'm telling you, I think the people who pulled up next to you to hide across the street from what was going on over there probably was cops. It's probably cops pulling up close to you and bad guys across the street, and or cops across the street and bad guys over here.
Well, if they were cops, they were dancing in the Denali when they drove past me because there was a lot of
Atlanta Undercovers has a long storied history of being some real interesting individuals who were like that. And that's from when I was there, and that's from the Young Thug case of last year into this year. Atlanta cops is on some shit. So for real. So you wasn't wrong. But like I said, you trust your instinct. It's not it ain't did you wrong. It ain't never did you wrong. So I'm sorry, go ahead. I have to chuckle about the restaurant situation because people was like, Keith Lee lying about Atlanta, but Keith Lee wasn't lying about Atlanta. Everything you said you experienced and shit, Keith Lee said he had go down when he visited Atlanta to go to restaurants. Weirdly long waits, food taking forever, if it ever did arrive. Some people don't let you even take to-go food. So the fact they did, that's already a bigger step than he had, because places he was going to was like, we can't get you have to-go food, and so forth and so on. So you are not the first or the last to experience such bullshit in Atlanta restaurants, and up into the greats of Keith Lee and Chom Tom. You know what I'm saying? People like that who do this for a living have the same damn experience. That's such bullshit to me, man. It's like it's fucked up that you can't go out and just have a good time on your birthday. That's basically where I'm at with that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So like I had ordered the turkey wings.
Yeah.
Because the waitress said that they were known for that. It was like that, turkey ribs, and then like they had I think it was like
turkey rib. God damn.
That's the thing. I didn't know. And so I was like, well, the turkey wing sounds interesting. They don't know for it. I'll try that. And so like when I ordered it, she goes, do you want it sauced or do you want it with gravy? And because you could get it fried or you can get it like sauced. So I went with fried. She goes, all right, well then that typically comes with gravy. And I'm like, is that what you recommend? And she's like, yeah, well that's what it comes with. I'm like, all right, well that's not what you recommend. That's just what it comes with. So I'm like, I'll go with that, right? So when they packed up the food into the bags, whoever packed up the gravy didn't snap the fucking lid on the gravy container. So by the time we got back to the hotel, there was no gravy in the gravy container. The gravy was all over all the containers in the bag that had my food in it. So, like, and at this point, it's been like over an hour since we've gotten this food. So it is cold. So we're back at the hotel, and I'm hungry. So like, because all I'd eaten all day was some beef jerky and the Zaxby sandwich that I had at like noon. So I am hungry because it's fucking midnight at this point. And I decided to sit down and eat the mac and cheese. And I know this is probably sound bad when I say it, T. And people are probably going to be like, you don't got to say it like that, but I'm going to say it like this. Black people mac and cheese is usually the best mac and cheese. But this black people mac and cheese that I had was some of the worst macaroni and cheese I've ever had in my goddamn life.
What did they do wrong?
It had no soul. There was no seasoning in the shit. The cheese was like, it literally, like, if you would have told me that a white woman named Karen made it, I'd been like, yep, you're right. Like, I've had your mac and cheese. I know what good black people mac and cheese tastes like. This was some sorry shit. For a place to have 4.5 stars out of 5 on Google with almost 4,000 reviews, this is some of the sorriest fucking mac and cheese I ever had in my goddamn life. And like I said, though, it had been sitting for an hour, but that's their fucking fault. I would have eaten it fresh in the restaurant had they even bothered to make our fucking food.
Yeah.
And so then, like I said, the other thing I got was like the candied yams or whatever.
Yeah.
They were fine. They literally just dumped like some brown sugar on the shit and threw like a sauce on it. Like it was like a sugary sauce. There was like no marshmallows. There was no browning on it. Like it was just sugared up fucking yams. It was passable, but like lazy. Then the turkey wings. They were a little cold, but like they were still like passably eatable. But I didn't get to experience them in their full glory because the fucking gravy ended up all over the bag. And so I ate one of the 2 turkey wings, and I gave the other one to the other dude because at this point I was getting full. And I also didn't want to eat too much because I had to go to bed. It was approaching 1 o'clock in the morning at this point, and I had to be up at fucking 7:30. The whole thing was supposed to be like, oh, we eat, go back so we can get a good night's sleep because we all got to be up there early. Well, that went out the fucking window.
What's this place called again?
Restaurant 10 Bar and Grill.
Restaurant 10. I like to see what they turkey wing is supposed to look like. Bar and Grill. Let's take a look at the turkey wings dinner. That if this menu is to be believed, cost you $30. Yeah, Jesus Christ. And here you go, people. I'll share the screen with you as what this is supposed to look like. You can tell me if it resembled this. Also, their website is clearly it's clearly set up for a phone, as you can tell. Mm-hmm. Their website is not doing what
I can tell they do a lot of like DoorDash in there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It kind of resembled that to some degree, but like it didn't look like that exactly. Like I don't know if you remember like the look of a wingding from Ponderosa.
Okay.
But it had like more of that look, but they were pretty big. Like I'm not going to say they were small like wingdings. They were like giant wings. But like the website look of them isn't exactly how, like at least what I got, that's not exactly how it looked.
Oh my God. I hate their website. This is also a terrible website. That's bad UX, people.
Like, I know that this may not be an indication of anything necessarily, but like the menus at the place were kind of beat up. And like they probably get a lot of foot traffic, but like it almost felt like to some degree like they didn't care about some stuff.
Yeah.
And then like also it seemed like at a certain point, like when we were in there, the place like went from like a bar and grill to a bar and grill / hookah restaurant, which I think fucked up the whole thing too.
Yeah.
Because they had a bunch of people show up to go out on the back deck to smoke hookah, which kind of pulled our waitress away from us and kind of exacerbated the problem of us not getting our fucking food.
I'm trying to see if there's any more recent.
They're fucking lying.
I'm not. Well, what I'm pointing out to you is most of these reviews are very old. That's 5 years old. That one's 2 years old. I don't know if they have any more recent reviews. You just might have had. We need some updated reviews. Some stuff.
So we get to bed. I go to sleep sometime in the 1 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
And I'll save the minor details, but we get out of the hotel room probably about 8:30, 8:45-ish. Drive downtown, and I managed to find parking like pretty quickly, honestly. Yeah. And it was only $20. We just had to walk about half a mile, like over a bridge, to get to where we needed to go. So, in all, it wasn't bad. But also, like, I had a bit of an issue where, obviously, people know that I've talked about in the past on the show that like I've been taking weight loss injections, which at times can make it so that I don't have regular bowel movements. And so I hadn't really taken much of a squat in about 3 days at this point. So we get into the convention building, and I kind of feel like I felt for a while like I kind of have to go, but like it's not really like it's there, but it doesn't want to come. Kind of like it's playing hard to get.
Yeah. And
I find a door that like everyone goes in to line up inside the hall. They kind of line everybody up in like cattle cages, you know, like you're at a livestock auction. And they fill up one cage, and then they start filling up the next one so they can release everybody one cage at a time. And it was about 15, 20 minutes before like the hall was supposed to open at 10. And there was a bathroom over there by the cattle cages, I'm calling them. So I go into the bathroom, and someone's coming out of the handicap stall. It was and like there was no other bath stalls open. There's like 8 stalls in there. They were all occupied. But then as I'm walking in, before I have to do an awkward stand there and wait for one of these to open up kind of situation, someone comes out. I don't care that it's handicapped. I'm going in. I've got time to kill and poop to drop. So I go in there and I managed to actually take a healthy release, use about 3/4 of their toilet paper roll, clean myself up, get all the sweat off, kind of reset. Then I go and get one of the cattle cages, and I'm standing in it for probably about somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes before I finally get released out into the hall. And I had a half hour to kill before the tournament was supposed to start. So I go and I look at some of the dealer booths and I buy like something. And the one guy I'm with, like he finds me and we're talking for a little bit because he was playing in something at like 11. So he didn't have like a lot of exploration time himself. And so the event I was playing in at 10:30 on Sunday was another sealed event, but it was a different sealed event where you open up 18 booster packs. It's like 3 packs from 6 different sets. Okay. And this giant pool to go through and build a deck out of. And the way like the tournament was like listed when I got signed up for it. Now keep in mind, all 3 tournaments I played in all weekend, I didn't pay for. The one guy with me, he paid for all of them. This guy went above and beyond for my birthday. He bought my pass, and like I'm gonna say this in a way where it's like people are gonna be like, "Is this dude trying to fuck you?" But no, this dude is married, and I mean, well, he could be trying. Who am I to put limitations on people's desires? I don't know, but
as far as you know, he ain't trying to get up in them.
He booked the hotel for all 4 days. He bought my badge to the convention center. He paid for all 3 of my tournament entries for the weekend. He bought me dinner every day. And he gave me a damn near mint copy, legitimate copy of my favorite Magic card, which, depending on where you get it from, is about $300.
He's the better friend than me. I'm sorry. I suck. Respect due.
Oh, and he paid for the gas every time I filled up.
Fair.
Yeah. So this dude went above and beyond to the point where like I was having imposter syndrome because I'm like, I don't deserve this. Why are you doing this? But anyway, so he paid in this tournament was $125. Wow. Because it was 18 booster packs, like retail at this point. Like they've marked packs up now as the years have gone on. Yeah. So like, but I'm like, oh, cool. Well, the event, it's 18 packs. It sounds interesting. It says if you win 3 rounds, you get 15 booster packs as a prize, or if you win 4 rounds, you get a box, or because there's only a 5-round tournament. Yeah. If you win all 5 rounds, you get 3 booster boxes. I'm like, I'm sure I could probably at least go 3-2, whatever. And so he signed me up for it, and I opened all the packs, and you only get 50 minutes for deck opening and deck construction. That's 18 fucking booster packs. That's a lot of fucking cards to go through in 50 minutes to sort through, read, build a deck with. Yeah. When you don't know what most of the cards do, because I haven't played with most of these cards. So I had to try and read this shit and sort it. They called 10 minutes left in deck building, and I hadn't even gone through 2 of the colors yet.
Jesus Christ.
So I ended up just throwing a deck together and hoping for the best, going off just pure skill with what I had. And I sit down for round 1, and all the people around me are talking about how the tournament's single elimination. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, this is what they said the prize was. They're like, yeah, but they're like, if you lose, you're out. And I'm like, wait. So I'm like, so I got no sleep. I didn't even have adequate time to go through all the cards to build my deck. And now you're telling me that if I lose, I'm out immediately? I'm like, if I had done that, I wouldn't even have done this bullshit.
Damn.
So then I win round 1.
Hell yeah, you did.
And then I play round 2. And I win round 2 too. I win round 2 also.
As well, indeed.
So then I go to round 3. And at this point, if I win round 3, I get 15 booster packs at least. But I go up against some dude, and his deck was like built, like it was like perfectly suited to beat me. Yeah. So he knocked me out. is a really pleasant young black gentleman. Chatted with him a little bit, and then I got to pull a joke on him a little bit too, because after he beat me, I went to go sit down and check how the Browns were losing.
Yeah,
and I was sitting by myself at a table, and I was texting with the one guy in my party because I told him I was out, and everything. And so we were kind of like making plans to meet back up because he was done with what he was doing.
Yeah.
And I got up to go to the bathroom, and as I'm walking towards the bathroom, the kid that just knocked me is coming out of the bathroom, or the young man, I can't say kid, but the young dude who knocked me out, coming out of the bathroom. So like we're crossing paths, and I walk up on him and I say, I swear I'm not following you. We're all good. And he kind of laughed. He's like, "Oh, it's all good." And then I went to the bathroom, I peed and everything, So I go over to like the dealer booths, and I spent about $400. I had taken out $500 cash to take with me as like my spending money. Mm-hmm. I didn't have as much money as I wanted. It's just there's been a lot of expenses. Things in the world are more expensive. People owe me money.
Green Bay.
That did hurt. I would have had over $1,000 to take with me if that had not happened.
Yeah.
People owe me money. Multiple people owe me money. So like my coffers weren't as deep as I would have liked to go on a shopping spree. So that's but I did take out $500. I managed to like kind of make that work. And I bought like a couple of like $15, $20 things. And then I bought one $350 thing.
Okay.
So that was like my big spend. And then the one item that I had wanted to get off the prize wall with all the prize tickets, because Sunday was the last day, you had to spend the tickets or lose them all because they don't transfer. They're not good for other events. Like they were only good for that day. The problem is Sunday, everyone's trying to get to that fucking prize wall because everyone's trying to get their shit and get out. So we got all the tickets needed for me to go get like kind of what I wanted, except they didn't have the exact thing I wanted anymore. They sold out of it the day before.
Yeah.
So I went and stood in the prize wall line for over an hour by myself to like spend the tickets. And I ended up getting an oversized card. I can send you a picture of it. I know that doesn't really help the podcast viewing.
If you send it to me now, before you finish this conversation, I can probably show them. Send it to email it to me if you can. Just email it to my Gmail. And I can just open it up in the Gmails.
You're assuming I know your Gmail.
Oh well, okay.
Well, that did. Oh wait, hold on. I think I might know it. Yeah, I do know it.
All right. I was about to send it to you.
I know it's always like one or the other.
Yeah.
All right. Sent.
Almost just said that shit out loud. I had to stop myself. That was crazy of me.
Yeah. That's why I'm glad I remembered it. So I got through the prize wall line, and I ended up grabbing this item that you're going to show everybody. Plus in my hand in the picture are 3 booster packs because I had like leftover tickets, and I had perfectly enough tickets to get these three specific booster packs, although you can only see one of them because they're stacked in my hand when I took the picture, because I was holding this shit in one hand and shooting with the other and while I was walking.
Yeah.
So, but the cool thing about this was the artist who drew this artwork for the card was there signing. Oh, now it's not in this picture because I didn't take a picture of it after this happened, but we actually went to his booth and I got him to autograph it, which was actually kind of cool. Like, I didn't know this artist, never seen him before, never heard of him, and I just felt like he brought the piece together, because this was kind of like my main memento from the trip, because this is something that like I'm not planning on selling ever or getting rid of or anything like that. This will be like the thing that like I remember from this trip. Yeah. So like the booster packs in my hand right there, like behind my thumb, that kind of tells you the normal size of a Magic card.
Yeah.
then this thing is just a giant version of a magic card. Like this is an actual magic card in that set that it's called Edge of Eternities, and that card is called Mutavault.
Okay.
And so then, like to the right of the flame from the rocket ship in the black box there, the artist put his signature, and I paid him $10 for his like shadow signature version, where he does like 2 colors, like the normal signature, and then he puts like a shadow behind it with another color. So I asked him to do his signature in silver.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, what do you want for the other color? And how do you want me to sign it? I'm like, look, all I know is I want you to do the original portion in silver. You can do whatever accent color you think will look good, and you can put it wherever you want. I'll leave that all up to you. You're the artist. You know better than I do. I'm like, I don't have my heart set on anything. I just want you to do what you think will look best. And also, him and his handler thought this thing was really cool.
Okay.
Because like no one brought one over, and like he was signing like playmats and actual playing cards, and like he had prints and shit. He didn't have anyone bring one of the prize wall giant fucking cards over to sign, so they thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
So he ended up doing it like to the right of the flame in the text box there.
Yeah.
Behind the rocket ship. He did his signature, and it, like when we're done with the show, and I go upstairs because it's in my bedroom right now. I haven't like put it anywhere yet.
Yeah.
I'll take a picture of it so you can see what the signature looks like. But he did the silver like I asked, and then he accentuated it with purple, so it kind of matches the starry gaze. In the frame there. So it came out really nice, like really well done. I was really happy with it.
Very cool. I like that. How many tickets was this?
22,500. So the street value on that is like around like $200 to $250. But it's easy to calculate because you could buy just straight up booster packs with tickets.
Yeah.
And so like, and there were people selling tickets. Like while I was in line, one dude was trying to move like 20,000 tickets, and him and his group were talking to somebody like in front of me about like what the value of it was and everything. And so it's like, they're like the products that they had for sale up on the prize wall, they weren't all just shit.
Yeah.
Like they had like a commander deck that like sells on eBay for like $300. They had, like giant, like they had artwork that was bigger than that. Like they had playmats, they had boxes, they had booster packs, they had collector packs, they had pins, they had sleeves, they had like all kinds of shit, and like some of it just like whatever, but then some of it had value. And so like if you had enough tickets, you could just cash it in for a booster box. People know what booster boxes sell for, so it makes it so that you could easily calculate how much tickets, like a street value of a ticket would be if you were just doing cash transactions. So I could easily go back and back math how much that like oversized card like street value would be worth.
Yeah. And
so I know it was at least over $200. So, it was a nice little get, and I was appreciative of them giving me their tickets because, like, I damn sure wasn't going to grind myself into the ground playing in tournaments to try and fucking win that thing.
Yeah.
So it was a team effort, and after that, we left the convention center and walked back to the car, and I was actually impressed with my ability to not die climbing the hill, getting back to the car. So that was nice. We went to this place that I went to 2 years ago when I was in Atlanta with my friends.
Yeah.
Called Ponce Market, and it's kind of like an old factory that they've refurbished into like shops and eateries, and then there's like a hotel on the upper floors, and like I think there's like a gym in there and shit like that. So it's kind of like a Crocker Market kind of deal of sorts. So we went there, had dinner. I ate a chicken sandwich from the Hops Chicken place that's like really good. Okay. And then we went to the ramen sushi place, and I got a bowl of ramen. And then I bought 2 donuts from this like family-owned black bakery that was in there. Mm-hmm. And then we went back to the hotel, and I ate the donuts, and we watched Sunday Night Football. And I watched an episode of Halloween Wars on the Food Network until 1:00 in the morning. And then went to bed, got up the next morning, packed up, showered, everything, and hit the road. Went to Buc-ee's, had like lunch, drove to the other Buc-ee's in Kentucky, had dinner, then came back to Cleveland, dropped the one dude off at his house, and then drove home. And I got home at about was like 11:06 actually. I remember exactly because the GPS. I remember it was actually spot on. So when I pulled up to my house.
Oh, nice.
And when I pulled up to my house, because I'm coming down the street, I saw like a yard that had like a bunch of shit in it. And I was like, man, I wonder what that is. And then as I got closer, I'm like, wait a minute, I think that's in my yard. And then I pulled up to my house. It was one of those companies that like people pay.
Worry not. I'm going to show it. I'm trying to make sure your address is not. Well, they don't know the street you live on. So give me a second. I'm actually going to send this to myself so I can show it to you guys. But keep going. Keep going.
Well, I mean, I can't do it.
Until I show it, I can't be.
Yeah, like it's going to ruin it now that I know you're going to show it. What's the point?
Well, the point is so they could see it. But tell them what happened. And then I'll show them that.
So I pull up on my house and I immediately knew it was my mom.
Yeah.
Because it was the same shit she wrote on Facebook on Saturday. She paid one of those companies that like puts yard signs in people's yards for like graduations and shit like that to put like a I turned 40 thing in my yard. I didn't know the protocols of all this, so thankfully they came and got that shit the next day, so I didn't have to deal with it. But yeah, there was these giant. It was like someone took a bunch of political signs and put them in my yard.
I love it.
I should have kept the cat.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. Oh my God, Lordy, Danny is 40, and no one calls Dan Danny, but very specific people in his life, so he knows who's who off the rip is who put the money on this bad boy.
It's kind of odd to me now too, that like thinking about the fact that whoever watches this can immediately see my house. It's hey, look at everybody. That's my luxurious home, you know, with this newer roof and the vinyl siding that needs power washed up there. It's a little dirty. You can see me in the window back there because I'm inside the house as the picture's being taken. So I'm technically in the shot. You can see the line for the internet that's going into under my bedroom window over there because yes, I sleep in that front right room.
I thought your room was across the hall.
No, that's my bedroom window right there.
Huh.
Trust me, I know my own window.
I do. I agree with that, but I forever had thought you was on the other across the hall. Like I just said, that's crazy. I've been to your house. I've been to your room. I thought. Okay.
That's news to me.
I've been to your room because you've let me in your room. You were probably like the first time you showed us the house. So that's crazy.
Well, yeah. So then, like the next day, like I slept in, and my mom texted me at like 10 a.m. She's like, get up and or she's like, are you awake? And I texted her back around like 11. I'm like, yeah. She's like, go look outside your window. And I'm like, I already know. I saw it last night. And she goes, oh, well, what time did you get home? I'm like, after 11 p.m. She goes, oh, they must have come earlier than that then. I'm like, yes, they must have. And then she's like, well, take a picture in front of it. And I'm like, man, I ain't showered and shit, and I'm tired. So I sent her the picture that everyone just saw. And then I went outside and like begrudgingly took a picture in front of the thing.
Yeah.
And then, like, later on, she's like, oh, did your neighbors say anything? And I'm like, I text her back, and I'm like, yeah, they asked me to stop dragging their property values down. And she's like, no, they didn't. And I'm like, swear. I'm like, they all came over. I'd never seen them so organized before. And she's like, no, they didn't. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, because I don't talk to any of my neighbors. None of them would come over and have a conversation with me about yard signs. Like, it was like she was clearly like proud of herself or happy with herself or whatever for what she did. But like, it's like my neighbors don't give a shit that you put yard signs in my yard. Like they're gonna come over and chat with me about it. Like, come on now. My one neighbor fucking dropped her tree on my garage and didn't even, like, we had to track her down. She didn't even come over and talk to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna you can't see that address, but just in case, I'm gonna blur it in the edited version of this show.
You really couldn't tell. Like it was really glossy. Someone would have to really dislike me to want to like try and figure that out.
I'm probably gonna still work out a blur on that for a stretch just to make me feel better. And
it's the internet, baby. You ain't as hidden as you think.
Hey, that's true. We already know what it is.
I know that for a fact that people could find out my address in like 3 clicks.
Yeah. The game is to be chose. Plus, it's like just county records and all that other shit. But still, leave my man alone.
So I spent basically Tuesday doing nothing. Slept in. I was tired, man. That's a lot of fucking driving.
Yes.
I was already hurting before I went on the trip because the bowling recently started back up. So I was like I hurt my hip bone a little sore, and then it's like driving 10 and a half hours down. Then walking through the convention center, back and forth, sleeping on a hotel bed, not getting a ton of sleep. Because I'll tell you, the 2 people I was on this trip with, some of the worst fucking snorers I've ever had the displeasure of sharing a hotel room with in my entire fucking life.
So they probably need a CPAP or something. They got some something going on.
They need an exorcism. Like the one guy, I told him the next day, I was like, I was genuinely worried about your health. I thought you died because it literally sounded like when you lay down to go to sleep that a ghost had sat on your chest and was wringing your fucking neck, like choking you the shit out of you. I'm like, it is not good. And the other guy I already know because I hear that shit every day.
Yeah.
But like the 2 of them in tandem, if I didn't fall asleep first, it was a fucking wrap. Because it's that bad. So not only was I already in physical pain before the trip even started, then I had to drive the car. Then I had to sleep with snorers. And so and hotel beds aren't exactly that comfortable. But when I came home, I could instantly tell the difference between my bed setup and that hotel bed.
Yeah.
So, it was a couple of days of not tremendous sleeping. And then I had to drive the car back. So by the time I got home Monday night, I was beat. It's taken a couple of days now to kind of feel normal again.
Kind of bounce back. Yeah. Yeah.
I wish that I hadn't I had just taken today and tomorrow off from work, but unfortunately I had to work. However, this is probably the nicest I've ever been treated coming back from a vacation at this company in my entire tenure here. They shut my pipeline off before, the day I left, or the last day I was here, and it's not scheduled to be turned back on until the 10th. So I'm not getting new loan assignments.
Okay.
People actually helped with my work while I was gone, which is unusual. So when I came in today, I had over 200 emails to go through.
Yeah.
But I didn't walk into people instantly yelling at me, which I was like, holy shit, this never happens.
I mean, new boss.
I also did notice though that apparently I'm not one of the people that gets emails of happy birthday. Those are reserved for the people that I don't work with in other departments to get shouted out by all these other people. But the people I work with don't email me happy birthday.
I can legitimately count on my hand the happy birthdays I got for this big milestone birthday I just had. And it's just it is what it is. Now, what's funny is I saw somebody do a video the other day, and it was this lady was like, I'm a Libra. Yesterday's my birthday. You got till today to get your belateds in, and then after that, I'm cutting you off. And I was like, yeah, that's me. I got that Virgo. That's Virgo energy as well. I guess it's Libra energy. And now you can tell me happy birthday because my kid, somebody else had a September birthday, and they was like, "You tell me happy birthday." They didn't tell me happy birthday, so no, I did not tell them happy birthday. That's not how that works. They're like, "Well, if you should tell them because maybe that'll get it going." I'm like, "Nah, that's not on me to do that."
Dude, it's real. I'm right now. I've got some side eye that I'm throwing at some people. I'll tell you this. My bowling team, every other fucking person on the team, when it was their birthday, people are up in that fucking chat. Oh, happy birthday, so-and-so. Oh, happy birthday. Oh, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. My birthday has been come and gone for 5 days now, and there has been nigh a happy birthday from a single motherfucker in that group chat.
Yeah. Tell you, I take that shit with a seriousness that you just would not believe. That I probably shouldn't take it so serious because who fucking cares? But I care because if I pull out my phone right now and go through my calendar, there's not some shit I'm guessing at. I don't have Facebook to tell me, oh, that's somebody's birthday. No, I'm well prepared years out for anybody I fuck with's birthday. I know it. And also I get a reminder of it.
It's just like when it comes to the work thing, it's like you all constantly force me to read through happy birthdays for like ex-teammates or people that I don't even work with.
Yeah.
It's like some manager 4 levels up. It's like, oh, it's this person's birthday. You should wish them happy birthday. And I'm like, why would I wish this person who I've never spoken to in my entire life a happy birthday directly when they don't even know I exist?
Yeah.
But then these same people that I worked directly with to send me the happy birthdays for everybody else I used to work with that I know have my information because we all had to submit it on a calendar.
Yep.
I don't get no happy birthday when it's my turn. Like, but then you want me to be happy? Like, I'll be happy for the people that I have a relationship with, but like the people that I don't talk to that I used to work with, they get no more fake happy birthday from me.
You know who did tell me happy birthday and told me like a couple of days beforehand at work? Our old boss, the one who hired you into the company.
Yeah.
That's
my ex-manager whose brother listens to this podcast texted me happy birthday. I was very appreciative of that.
So that's I want you to know that's for me. That's 2 bosses ago right now at this point. 2 bosses ago.
Well, for me at this point, that was
6 bosses?
That was I'm on my 4th boss since I left him. So would that be 5 bosses ago?
Okay. Yeah. So I need you to know respect due to that person because it was very unexpected because it was just out of nowhere. Well, out of nowhere, they hit me up in Teams and I was like, oh, hey, thank you. So that was very lovely of that person and respect due to it. But nah, man, I know the people. You know what it is. Those who matter came through, show love, and it was great. Respect due to those people. And those who didn't, I must not be that important to you, and that's okay. But remember, the trust, I'll see your birthday in my calendar, you'll not get a word from me. And that's just what it's going to be, baby. So that's how we move. And that was your tea time and story time and lunchbox all wrapped up in a bowl. Let's get some starts. Let's get some asshole popping off here right now. I dance to it every time, y'all. I love it. Every week we head to Reddit, dig deep into the subreddit that is Emma the Asshole, read a couple off, and decide are these people assholes and or not. I got a little selection here for you this week, Box. We'll pull 2 out of the 3. They are as follows. Am I the asshole for calling out my friend in front of others for saying, you can't be fat and picky? Am I the asshole? My parents are demanding that I still do all of my chores, even though I no longer live at home.
Oh yeah, that's a big not the asshole for me.
And the last one, this one, and in fact, I ain't gonna bother with it. This one is not making the cut this week. I'll save it. But those other 2 are doing with that what I want from them.
This is the new segment called The Illusion of Choice.
Nope, you laughed at the first 2, so that's the ones. I refresh this one.
I laughed at the first one. I already dissected the second one.
It's all good. It's all good. All right, fine. I'll give you this. Oh, hey, that one got removed by the moderator. The one with the second one. So,
damn.
I don't even technically have that video about why
the only thing that could have swayed me is if like the parents were like quadriplegics or something.
I'm trying to see because let's see. OP has offered the following explanation of why they think they might be the asshole. I've talked to some friends and other family, and I'm pretty split on who was wrong in the wrong. I guess it's just unbiased speaking. I think they don't think that was an am I the asshole worthy discussion. So I guess that's what it is. So, okay, you get the other one. And that is, am I the asshole? I bought my girlfriend a Dyson Airwrap. Now she's mad.
What the fuck is a Dyson Airwrap?
It's basically a fancy hair dryer. Oh. So he spent the bread on this lady, and she mad about it, and I cannot wait to find out why. I was just like, why would she be mad? I need to know. But here, yeah, we'll do that one first because that was I don't know, and I want to know, and we'll save the best for last because the other one seems like it's going to be a good time. Am I the asshole? I bought my girlfriend a Dyson Airwrap. Now she's mad. Basically on that, you know what I'm saying? He bought his girlfriend a gift and she's mad about it. Can't possibly be an asshole, right? For buying gifts.
I hope not.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Am I the asshole? My girlfriend and I have been dating for 3 years. We both work at the same job and socialize with an S. So this person's in Canada or Australia or England. He one of those countries. And socialize lots with other people at work. We started dating when we were both lower levels, but I've since jumped a few tiers at work. She's been dropping hints on an Airwrap. I earned good money, and this last week have been doing higher duties at work and got a pay rise for the week. So I thought I was first. They're from England. That pay rise, as opposed to raise, is an English way. Here's the dilemma. All the Dysons look the same to me and my boy eyes. So I asked one of the girls from our work which one to get. Now my girlfriend is mad. It's embarrassing having this other person know how much I'm spending. What the fuck? It gives the appearance that my girlfriend is only dating me for my money. What? Friends who have known we dated before had know this to be false. And I asked I asked not my girlfriend's best friends, who I get along with well enough, but not super well, and also work at our work. And I asked not my girlfriend's best friend. That's how that's worded. She's got mad at me and told me, okay, sorry, spoon. She got mad at me and told me all of these things, and I'm just not sure if I have crossed the line. So he asked somebody else, hey, what's the 1 to buy? She's mad because that person knows he's spending bread on her.
Usually people broadcast that shit, right? Like, don't they like brag like, oh, look what my man got me? They don't want to know that their man's buying things for them. Like, is this like a covertly independent woman thing? Like, I don't understand.
Same. I'm literally thrown for a loop here. Listeners, if you know why this person should be mad, let me know, because that'd be great. This is the most first world problem that is ever first world. So much drama, not the asshole. This is up there with the woman whose father gave her a KitchenAid mixer. She didn't like the color, so she gave it to her friend rather than, exchange it for the color she wanted. Jesus Christ. Let's see. I'm trying to scroll. I know a woman who doesn't use one of her wedding gifts because it's the wrong color. It's a Dutch oven. Jesus Christ. Let's see. That KitchenAid really set people off. That really started a whole bunch of conversations. Not the asshole. It's perfectly reasonable to ask others for advice. If she's upset, next time you just have your girlfriend send you a link to the one she wants. Though I have a feeling that she'll complain that it spoiled the surprise. Yeah. Not the asshole. I'm a chronic overthinker, and even I think she's overthinking it. I got her a nice, expensive present with what amounted to a bonus, as it sounds like you're not getting this pay regularly. You talk to someone so that you get the right one. And instead of being grateful, she's worried about some woman you work with knowing that you got her a nice present. There's nothing there's either missing information here, or your girlfriend needs to stop and think, why am I more worried about what some woman thinks? Why am I assuming it's negative? And why was I thinking about that instead of, oh my God, my boyfriend listened to me. put effort in and spent his extra money on me instead of himself. Well, yeah, you've done it all. Oh, no, it says sweaty Aussie. So this is an Australian. Posting out a flea, fair point. I'm trying to see if he responded to this, but he did not. He posted that and that was it. Fair enough. No, buddy, I don't believe you're the asshole in this. An asshole in this situation. I don't think you could possibly. Who could think that you're an asshole for thinking of your girlfriend and saying, "Hey, I got a couple extra dollars. Let me spend it on my boo." I do think 3 years. Okay, I'm not going to tell you to break up with her, but I am going to tell you to start considering whether or not you want this to go another 3 years. I'll just word it like that, and I'll leave it there. Am I the asshole for calling out my friend in front of the others for saying you can't be fat and picky?
That is not true.
Yes, factual statement here. My friend, let's call in, lives for drama and gossip. N always has something blunt or nasty to say, and honestly, at first it was fun, but now it's becoming draining. The constant drama she brings is frustrating. Today's drama was talking about one of our other friends' sisters. Let's just call S. We were all married in our mid-20s in the friend group. S, nearing 30 years old, is not. I don't see a problem with it. She's living life and she's always a good time. S wasn't there, but her sister just mentioned that S broke up with her boyfriend because he raised too many red flags. Me and a few others said, good for her, while N tisked. We turned to N, who loudly exclaimed that she is not getting any younger and she needs to stop being so picky. The sister did agree, but she seemed a little skeptical of N's words. N continued on saying that S cannot be fat and picky. Everyone went silent and a few awkward chuckles while N kept talking. N is a bigger lady, by the way, and she was the youngest married out of all of us at 20. Her husband is obsessed with her. She doesn't work or do anything around the house and no kids. He literally cooks, cleans, and pays for everything. All she does is make fun of him all the time. I couldn't help it. I spoke up and told her she cannot be talking. Oh, shit. N instantly glared at me and said, what the fuck does that mean? I said that you got married to a guy who's obsessed with you and you're not skinny. Who are you to say that she should settle? My friends, to their credit, did not agree or disagree, but N had a whole meltdown that I called her fat and that her relationship is different. I just left the party after that because I couldn't stand being around her anymore. She blocked me on all platforms, and a few friends said she brings me up anytime she possibly can. I just don't care. I'm tired of her. My husband said I could have been nicer. Am I the asshole? Fuck no, you're not the asshole. You had to check a bitch at the door, and sometimes it has to go down like that. You got to check a bitch right at the door so they know what the fuck is up because she got some audacity.
Yeah. Not the asshole.
It is nothing wrong with being fat if you are okay with being fat. I will start there. If you don't want to be fat and can work toward not being fat, then cool on you. And that's what's up with that. But also, nothing wrong with recognizing some motherfucker ain't treating you right and leaving that relationship. And that is what her homegirl did. And respect due to that as well. Yes, you can be picky because you can be picky if you are who you are. Be picky about whatever the fuck you want to be picky about, but especially somebody who you in a relationship with. Fuck out of here. I hate them assholes that get me mad. I just want to laugh and have a good time, and that one got me mad. I believe being nicer would have had a bigger impact. Comebacks aren't always effective, OP. Just getting up saying something along the lines of, I've had enough of this. Poor S, why do you insist on being this unkind? I gotta go. Sorry to everyone.
Man, fuck that.
Thank you. I am not in the mood to tolerate this once again. Y'all have fun, then leave. I'm not sure I'm right, but I know since I'm not naturally a comeback person with a quick wit, something like this is how I would have chose to handle people like N. I kind of always believe that the most threatening thing a person like N is the potential to lose their group. Appealing to their normal compass isn't going to work. To their moral compass isn't going to work. I guess, bud. Again, sometimes you got to check a bitch right at the door.
She hit her with both.
Yeah.
She hit her on a level that she can understand, and she's kicking her out of her life.
Yeah.
Give her the 2-piece with the biscuit.
And like I said, right now, who talking about who? She's coming here to ask, hey, did I do something wrong? But that other bro talking to everybody, I'm sorry, Nick Jew. I know you don't be happy with me when I say broad. I can't help myself. It's when I'm all angrified right now. My hackles is raised and I use terms I probably shouldn't be using. This woman is talking about her still. Living in her head rent free. So, I mean, she knows she's wrong. Little youngin', little child getting married at 20.
Those in obese houses shouldn't throw cupcakes.
Exactly the case, y'all. Entertainment. I wrote it down. I'm of course watching the great.
Are they putting this Avatar movie back out again? God damn!
Because the new one comes out this year, so they want you to watch the old ones. I know they're not good movies, but I want you to go see it at the Regal in Crocker Park on their high frame rate screen in 3D. It is like being in the movie. It is fucking wild. And therefore it feels more like an experience than watching a shitty movie. I'm gonna go see this new one, the whatever, hot and spicy Avatar.
I think it's hot in Atlanta.
Avatar, Carolina Reaper, whatever this shit is called. And I'm going to pay the extra money to go see it at that theater at Regal, unless Phoenix is like, oh no, we can, because that theater is new enough that they could probably do the high frame rate 3D as well. You want the combination of the two. You don't just want 3D because he actually shoots those movies at a higher frame rate, and so it makes for it's like you're in a play. It's crazy how the depth is, and it's not like other 3D movies that they transfer and make look in 3D. No, he filmed these things in 3D cameras that he invented. It's worth it. I'm telling you right now. It don't seem like it is. Well worth it. So trust me on that one. And yes, another Avatar seems weird, but he also has plans to make, I think, 5 of them total. So
I watched the first one like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
All I remember thinking was like, God damn, this movie's long.
Awful. The second one, like I said, not great, but like I said, I saw it in 3D and I was like, this is crazy. There's whales involved and I don't know, it's crazy. I'm watching the Great British Bake Off because I make a podcast about the Great British Bake Off. You'll have a fresh episode of that podcast if you're watching this live tomorrow, and if you're watching this later in the week, you'll still have a new one tomorrow. Because guess what? This show goes up on Thursdays as well as records on Thursdays. I am still playing Claire Obscure Expedition 33. If you have Game Pass, play this game. I am not a turn-based RPG guy. I am for this one. I am so in love with this game, and I keep going back to it. I have a new game that I need to play at some point. Then I'm like, I got to finish this story first because I need to know where it's going. So I'm telling you, you should be getting down with Claire Obscure Expedition 33. If you have Game Pass, it's on Game Pass, and if not, I think the game is only $40 new. It's a double A game. It's not full whatever, but it's something special, and I think you really get down with that. Only thing I'm listening to is Let God Sort 'Em. I'm still bumping Let God Sort 'Em out. They just dropped a video for Birds Don't Sing this week. Clips Let God Sort 'Em out album of the year. You should be getting down with that if you don't get on anything else. Box, what you listen to, getting down with it all. I know you had such a busy week. I don't know if you even had a chance to sit and watch anything.
I haven't watched anything like outside of like the Guardians playoff games. And then like some random ass YouTube videos. Like I haven't watched a TV show or anything.
Very good, very good. Who's playing in the foosball tonight? San Francisco Rams.
The 49ers were up 14-0 at one point. Yeah. And then like we got deep into the conversation. And I look back up and like it's 2020 now. The Rams they scored a touchdown to tie it, and then the extra point got blocked, but they have the ball back now.
Yeah, man, that has been an interesting thing this NFL season to see all these kicks getting blocked.
Yeah.
Have our special teams gotten this good? Is it the new ball we're using this year? What do you think is leading to this?
I think offensive lines are just really shitty across the board, and people just aren't blocking like they used to.
Fair enough. Do you have any kind of beef or okayness with the tush push?
I mean, it does feel like cheating a little bit, but it's technically legal, so I can't be mad at it. I don't know, putting 7 people behind somebody and just pushing them feels a little bit like it's not in the spirit of the game, but whatever.
So
if they keep it, I don't care. If they ban it, I don't care either.
So of course, this past weekend, what Philly decided to do was okay, we'll line up, make it look like a tush push, and ran 2 fakes, scored on both those fakes, and I had to laugh. And they'd be like, all right, fine. How about we don't tush push then? Guess what y'all bitches still can't do? Stop it. Just telling you, man. If you can't stop it, it's really more on you than anybody else. Also, Buffalo been trying to run a version of it too and has not been very successful at it. So it just says to me, how you hate from outside the club. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just, just what it's.
I'll say this though, a lot of times this season, it seems like Philly's offensive linemen have been doing false starts on those tush pushes and not getting called for it. So it does help when you cheat.
Is it cheating if you don't get called on it? Because guess what? They pay gentlemen a hefty price to watch that shit to make sure there's no cheating going on. And if they not seeing it, whose fault is that? Yeah,
because refs have never been paid off before. In any sport ever.
I am not gonna put the effort to be like, yeah, they getting paid off. What I mean is they just blind because refs are bad at their job. And have always been bad at their job. So there you go. So bad that next year we're gonna start calling strikes with robots in the Major League Baseball.
I was gonna say, based on the strike zone yesterday compared to today, it was clear which umpire had a better eye for balls and strikes.
Yeah.
Today, man, that dude was on it. Very rarely did the ESPN strike zone box thing disagree with what the motherfucker called.
Yeah.
But yesterday, there was a lot of shit where I was like, damn, really? You didn't call that? Oh, you called? I'm like, holy fuck.
When things is like egregious, that's kind of what makes baseball, oddly enough, it makes it kind of fun, but also at the same time, be like, these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So I can't call it, y'all. It's a wild time in the empire. But let's put a fork in this bad boy. My man can get some rest, and I got to take the garbage out. It's trash day in my neighborhood. You know what it is. Please tune in every Thursday. That's when we post the show, but also we record usually around the 8:30 p.m. EST mark, where you can typically join us in the chat on Twitch and or YouTube. Make sure to comment, and share some so forth and so on over on YouTube. YouTube, you know what I'm saying? The way to move the needle on YouTube is for you to get in the comments and for you to give us a like. And be dope if you gave the link to somebody you think, hey, I think you might get down with what these fellas is doing over here. Rate, review, subscribe, and share everywhere else. If you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, they have the ability for you to give stars. And if you gave us 5 stars, that'd be mighty dope, because again, that puts us out in the ether, and hopefully more people will come across the work we're doing. If you want to support the show financially, got a few bucks to toss away, consider joining us over on Patreon. We miss the $5 tier, get extra content and early access to new shows. We also have merch over at cpublic.com/user-Krunchy and milk, all one word, Krunchy, of course, being spelled with a K. And feel free to give us a call at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. We'd certainly love to hear from you and hear from you. Let me jump over to the old text message. Miko Michelle hit us up to say, hey there, I just listened to episode 583 of Skim and had to let you guys know what a great episode this was. Happy 50th birthday, T. Oh, hey, look at that. Got another happy birthday. Respect it. And my eyes started burning when you read your sister's email. Then again, when Aunt talked about how he wanted to give you that special gift and how he hadn't been around, and she put the tearful eye emoji, you know what I'm saying? I had no idea he was going through health challenges. Just thought he was too busy being a new baby dad. It was just really great to hear the gang back together on mic again. Love Dan's wedding story too. Okay, take care, talk soon. Also, and then she hit us back. Also, I got a kick out of all of the pause and hey, yo. Nico, Michelle, thank you so much for your support, for listening, and for writing into the show. We love just a contribution like that. It does right by us, and respect due to that as well. Yeah, everything has been ticked off the list there. You good to go now? Our missing man is the 216's own Tatum 216. He's here when he can be here, and until then, worry not. But he's always here in spirit. That is, of course, the Right Reverend Lunchbox 2099.
Hey, yo.
I am the Internet Stand with 713. Don't make me push you into traffic. We'll do it again next time. Peace.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.
Stays crunchy and milk.